What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the second day of February, and here we are sitting at about $0.00229 with roughly 6 days, 7 hours left in this week. And it's more like 6 days, 6 hours left in this week. Again, hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. It looks like what you have here is a tweezer bottom. You've got a little bit of a tweezer bottom. A slightly lower low. Tweezer bottom with a slightly lower low. This is fake out territory, you guys. It really is. I feel like a broken record. A lot of the videos I've made today, maybe all of them, have the words fake out in them, right? Looking at this here on Kraken, not a whole lot of volume. Really not a lot of volume at all on ZBCN. Is it just BCN? Change symbol? Is it just BCN on Kraken? BCN? What the heck, man? Maybe they couldn't do it for some odd reason. Bybit, not a whole lot of volume. Like, it's there, sure. It's not that there's no volume on the way down. Not a whole lot of volume. You would think after consolidating in an area for months that if you break out, you'd get some volume to back it up, and you wouldn't just stop dead in your tracks as soon as you're getting to the good part. No, this kind of price action makes me think instead we're going to do the opposite. I mean, look at what we did here. Again, what did I just say? You don't consolidate for months, and then when you get to the good part, volume dies off, right? You don't stop there. You get continuation there. If you stop, what happens? Opposite. And I think we're seeing it happen here. I think we're in the exact same environment here that we were here, just to the opposite effect. And it seems so obvious, actually, looking at it like that. Looking at this on the 1 hour time frame. Nice, actually. I like this little double bottom. I like that structure. That's good. Like an Adam and Eve almost, or maybe an Adam and Adam. Kind of nice. 1 hour RSI is bearish overall, but you've got some bullish stuff going on. Stochastics look all right. The MACD is about to cross above the zero. We have a little bit of time left in this day. I would assume that we probably do close today above 0024 with the way the MACD is looking, but we'll see. 4 hour time frame looking at this here. You do have a flat base, I suppose. Flat base with descending highs. I don't know if I like that, actually. We'll see. What I will say is we don't want to come back down here. Triple bottoms exist, but typically they're not triple bottoms. What they are is just an inevitable break, right? That's typically what they are. I would like us to avoid going that far down. We can go a little bit lower from here. Let's just see, low to high. I would just like us not to go below 0022. Okay, don't go. Or is that right? Yeah, 0022. Don't go below 0022. 4 hour RSI, bullish divergence. Hey, we're getting a little bit of a move off that now. Bit of a downtrend in the RSI, lower lows, lower highs throughout, right? You've been in this kind of downward range for a while now. Blemishes here and there. Hopefully we break out of this over the coming days. This week could be good if we do. Bullish divergence on the stochastics, bullish divergence on the MACD, and I just don't think that we've seen that move happen yet. I mean, this could have been it. I think that there's more to come. And again, by the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised if we're back above 0024, maybe even pushing 00254, 0026, something in that area. High to low here. My expectation, if we go above this high, would be that we go to the 382. So that's at 00258, probably around 0026. We could be there by the end of today, in the next 6 hours, or maybe sometime tomorrow. Consolidate, configure there, probably pull back to the 236 to find support, and then we go up to the golden ratio. Perhaps by the end of this week, we could be all the way back up where we were before this drop happened at 0029 to 003. Yes, by the end of this week. And if it's not, if it takes longer, that's fine. Maybe it's sometime next week. You know, this difference here is this is Friday, Saturday. This here is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. That's the difference. That's the only difference. So I don't care if it happens like this, or maybe it takes a little bit longer to form, whatever. Sometime soon, probably in the first half of February, we should be back around this 003 level and pushing higher. So that's good. Unless, of course, this isn't a low point. Unless, of course, we're going to break lower and then go lower. I've done this for a few different videos. Let's do it for this one. If we were to go lower, which is not my expectation, but if it were to happen, if we were to go lower from a low to a high, the expectation is the golden ratio from this point. You held the 0.5 that much. I highly doubt that we don't hold the golden ratio. You could, break through the golden ratio in one fell swoop and hit the 786 maybe. This does look to be like a giant kind of descending triangle at this point, right? Lower highs, flat base here. It could be a descending triangle. Descending triangles, by the way, statistically speaking, are less likely to work out to the downside if they're in an uptrend, which you are. You have higher lows and higher highs. Descending triangle does not mean you have to go lower. It is a bearish pattern with bearish implications, but in moments like this, it's more of a coin toss. I've seen plenty of descending triangles break out to the upside. I've seen it happen plenty of times. Let's look at Bitcoin, for example. Right? Or here, for example, you even had a descending triangle that did break out to the downside. If you sold once it broke out, that was the worst time to sell. It was the worst time to sell. Right? Here you had a descending triangle, flat, or coming down with a flat base, and you broke out to the upside. Here you had a bit of an ascending triangle, and you had a fake breakout, and then you came down. Here you had lower highs with a flat base, bit of a descending triangle there, and you broke out to the upside. This descending triangle structure worked out famously. That actually worked out very, very well. It's not that it's guaranteed to go down. It's just not a requirement, is all I'm trying to say there. And from this point, I have a hard time believing that we do. This looks like fake out territory to me. Did we look at the daily indicators already? Stochastics, MACD, all kind of weird, but so is the price action, very neutral. You're at the base of this range, so of course you're going to be at the base of your range on your indicators as well. Weekly time frame bullish divergence on the MACD, that's nice to see. Hard to be bearish with bullish weekly divergence on the MACD, that's for sure. I don't like the stochastics, I don't like the RSI. That being said, you are at points in the RSI where you typically do find support, so I guess that's a positive there. We're just waiting for Zebec to turn up, turn to the upside here. And with that, let me give you some price targets to watch for. We get above 00294. That would, in my opinion, really help solidify that this is the low. You get above 00412 on a weekly closing basis or a daily closing basis, that would really help with the idea that not only is this the low, but that we are in fact going to break out to new all-time highs. I still believe from here, as I did from the highs of this range, that we will break out to the upside and that we will see something on the lines of a 3 to 4.5 cent price. And I still believe that this can happen by the end of March. But if it takes longer, if it does bleed into Q2 with this pullback, I mean, that's something that might be expected as well. We'll see. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. Structurally speaking, Zebec I think looks really good. You're holding support at prior resistance here. Holding support at prior resistance back here. Holding support at your relative 0.5. It's as good a place as any to bounce, but if you don't, you really do run the risk of going back down to 1.7 cents or maybe even as low as 1.1 cent. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. I don't think we're going to break out to the downside. I do think we're going to break out to the upside. I want to be very clear with that, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. See you later.